I was going to say something else, but I've completely forgotten it. So I'll go with this thought that I was just thinking. Um, in terms of like sentience being justified. So, oh, this was the thing I was going to say. I just wanted to clarify for, I'm pretty sure you already would understand this clarification, but just for anyone who ends up watching this, the reason that I asked about what you meant by sentience being justified is I wanted to make sure the distinction was understood between sentience itself and one person creating another sentient life. So, for example, if you use the example of like the extinction of humans as a species, I'm not necessarily pro-extinction. I'm just anti-procreation.
I want to highlight that a couple of times because I feel like some people might box you into that corner of being like an extinctionist antinatalist.
Yeah.
So, yep, just highlighting that. I believe
Well,
the same thing,
agree?
by the way. Oh no, I'm 100% in agreement, and
Yeah.
it's just, you know, there are people that argue that, so just good to know.
I just wanted to I really wanted to clarify that in this because I think what she wanted to do, and maybe I'm being unfair here, but I think what she wanted me to do is specify this something that is considered really extreme or even more extreme than what I'm saying already. And she wanted me to say that is my goal and that's what I'm aiming for.
Yep.
But that isn't, and it wasn't in the conversation I was having. Like, my goal is not extinction. My goal is just to try and influence people to stop procreating. Now, a natural result of that, well, to be honest, I don't need to say it again because I'm about to say it, but
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, people not procreating will, just naturally lead to extinction, but extinction isn't really the goal per se. And I'll give an example. Let's say we all stop procreating overnight, right? No new beings are brought into existence, but somehow, like, all of the humans already in existence gain immortality. Is it immortality when you live forever?
Immortality, yeah.
Yeah. Let's say they gain immortality. Well, I would not say that's necessarily a bad thing. Like, as long as they had a way to opt out, like euthanasia or something like that. Like,
I just want to say 100% agree. I've had a discussion with Phil Torres on this, so yeah, glad that. It's funny, I saw this already, and this didn't pop out at me, but I'm glad that we're reviewing it together because yeah, you and I have a lot of similarities. It looks like, or at least on these cases, on this. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I keep good company then.
Yeah.
I don't want someone to be trapped in existence forever if they don't want it. So this is an example I mean is that if these people are already in existence and they can live forever and it's up to them, well, that's fine. They have their own life. They're going to make their own choices. That's up to them. So I'm not necessarily pro-extinction. It's just like no one is immortal. And so extinction would naturally come from the position I hold, if you get what I mean.
So the ultimate goal, because as I understood it, the human extinction was or is a goal of a lot of antinatalists that
No, it's not.
Yeah. So I just want to reiterate the point here is that this is where two things were highlighted to me. One, I don't think she had I think her understanding of antinatalism was and probably still is, because it hasn't been that much time since this conversation, malnourished, as is evident by that statement and several statements she'd made before. The second thing is, I think this is an example of where, how I was saying before, is that she kind of wanted the view I had, or antinatalism, to be very simple and like kind of hardline or extreme. And then she wanted to be able to refute that, which is basically a straw man. But then I wasn't, and antinatalism doesn't fit into that neat little box that you can then just reject.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of got on her nerves a bit. But again, I don't want to like put words in her mouth and stuff. That was just my reading of the situation.
Yeah. And to be fair, we have a spectrum of beliefs within the antinatalism community. So, if she's seeing posts or looking online and seeing like an antinatalist saying, yes, by force, or, we need to work on an ethical extinction, It's not too far to like, yeah, unless you actually like think about all the other nuanced positions that you know, she can have this assumption about the position, but antinatalism is about the ethics of creating sentient life. That's it.
Yeah.
All the rest is like coupled with other beliefs and values and normative theories as well. So yeah, I'm sympathetic to this, but yeah, like you clarified your position. So now it's on her, I believe, to be to attack your framework at that point, I believe. Yeah.
I've spoken to, but obviously there are subcategories and there's differences among people who identify as antinatalists.
Oh, well, there you go.
So for you, is it a reduction in population? Like, what is the ultimate goal for antinatalism for you?
Well, the ultimate goal is just for no one to create any new life. Now, like, obviously in the situation we're in now, that would lead to just no one existing. But let's say in the future, you know, because the human population isn't just going to go away now. So we are going to be around for some time, regardless of what I think. So let's say, you know, 1,000 years down the line or something, we're able to come up with some technology where you can give someone an injection and they can live forever. It's not like I would go around and campaign for people not to get that injection. Like, it's up to them. If they want to do that, that's fine. So no, I would not say I'm necessarily pro-extinction. My goal is just to, you know, go around, try and influence people so that they will make the decision not to procreate themselves. I'm not going to force anyone to do anything. I'm not going to.
But what is the argument?
Just want to say, agreed, 100%. I'm with you right now.
For that, if the goal isn't human extinction, like why? Like what?
So the goal is to prevent this, the suffering, or to at least not violate those consent rights. So those two things, to prevent those harms. That's the goal, at least for me. Would you agree with that, or do you have a different goal?
No, I mean, it depends what she means by goal. Does she mean personal goal, or does she mean goal of the philosophy? Because I can't really speak for the goal of the philosophy. Like, the philosophy is not this conscious being. Like, different people interpret it differently. But my personal goal is just to try and influence people to get them to stop procreating. Like, I'm not going to frog march people to a sterilization clinic or anything.
No, you just want them to make wise choices for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And given the landscape that we're in at the moment, where literally you probably couldn't make things that much worse as an individual. I mean, maybe some individuals could, who had a lot of power and influence, but I probably couldn't make things that much worse. And so I've got to be quite humble about what I can do in the positive direction as well. So all I want to do is, you know, have some sort of modest influence in nudging, you know, the world, or you know, however you want to frame it, into the direction of less beings coming into existence, and the beings that already are in existence or will be brought into existence despite my efforts have a better existence than they otherwise would have had.
Yeah,